So, remember when I did my last book haul and I said I'd been very good because most of them had been sent to me, and also I didn't plan on buying any more books until October when all the Christmas ones came out? Yeah, I've been bad. I have 6 books to talk about today. 6 books. The first one that I'm going to talk about is not surprising at all, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling, of which this is my 4th copy. But I can be excused on this one because this year marked the 20th anniversary of the first book, so of course I had to buy it. And obviously they had these different house editions. They had them in paperback and hardback, and unsurprisingly, if you know me well enough, I got the Hufflepuff one. I'm really not a fan of these sprayed edges thing that keeps happening with books, but if the option is hardback or paperback, I'm always going to go for the hardback. I honestly didn't expect much from this. I thought there was just probably going to be a brief introduction and that would be it, then it would just be the regular book. But there's actually so much more in it. All this like stuff talking about like an introduction to Hufflepuff, you know, why it's a badger, and then obviously there's a map, and at the back there's all like loads of stuff about the house coat. You know, we've got a bit about Newt, good old Newt Scamander there, and Tonks, and Professor Sprout, and obviously the most memorable Hufflepuff student is Cedric. So yeah, definitely well worth it. Naturally, I have already reread this because I joined in the Wizarding book club that Pottermore started just as this came out. So yeah, it reminded me why I love this series. Still not my favourite. It ranks quite low overall in my favourite books from like the whole series. But yes, can't believe it's been 20 years of Harry Potter. The next book that I'm going to talk about is actually a children's picture book, and that is There's a Monster in Your Book by Tom Fletcher. Interesting fact about this one, this was actually the first book that Tom Fletcher wrote when he decided he was going to pursue a career writing children's books, but then he came up with an idea for a pooping dinosaur with Dougie Pointer, and that just kind of took over and they rolled with that, and this got kind of put on the sidelines while all the rest of that happened. So this one is finally out, and as you can tell from the title, there is a monster in your book. It's this little thing here, and the aim of the book is to perform various actions to try and get the monster out. So for example, on this page you have to tickle his feet, and then you have to turn the page, and look, he's laughing because you just tickled his feet. The next one that I got was When Diplomat Rishi by Sadia Menon. I hope that I haven't completely butchered that name. I say this like every time I make a video about a contemporary book, where I don't know why I keep buying them in the hopes I will like them. There are the occasional ones, like my favourite books of the year so far are all contemporary ones, but this had a lot of hype around it, so I decided to give it a read just to see, which was probably my first mistake, going off the hype. The story follows a girl called Dimple who has bagged herself a place at Stanford University, and she wants to spend her summer at this coding camp. Her parents have other ideas and want her to focus on getting the perfect Indian husband rather than working on education and starting a career. But they do a complete 180 and offer to pay for her to go to this coding camp for the summer, and she believes that her parents are finally giving her independence and are finally listening to what she wants to do with her life. But what Dimple doesn't know is that a boy called Rishi has been sent to this same coding camp to meet her in the hopes that they fall in love and eventually get married. The next one that I'm going to talk about is The Land of Stories, Worlds Collide by Chris Colfer. I can't go into too much detail about this because it's the 6th and final book in the series, but I literally just finished reading this a few days ago, and I'm so sad that the series is over. But basically it follows these twins, Alex and Connor, who find a book of fairy tales and end up going into the stories, and it just follows their adventures from there. And then after that I got a copy of All That She Can See by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I really didn't enjoy her last fiction book, so I was very apprehensive about this one. This was going to be a make or break book for me. I have already read this and I do have a review coming, so I'm not going to talk in too much detail about this one. But basically it follows a woman called Cherry who has the ability to see the bad feelings attached to people, and they sort of manifest themselves as these like creatures. So for example, worry represents a tangled ball of wool. A series of circumstances, she discovers that she can bake good feelings into cakes to counteract whatever people are feeling. So she becomes sort of like a Mary Poppins of cake, and she sets up a bakery and stays there until she feels that she has eradicated the bad feelings as much as possible, and then she moves on. And the latest location that she sets up her bakery in, she meets a guy called Chase who can see the good feelings attached to people and chooses to make drinks that make those feelings disappear and replaces them with bad feelings. While I've got my Kindle, I completely forgot that I should probably mention that I am listening to the audiobook to All the Boys Ive Loved Before by Jenny Han. I am on chapter 27 in audiobook form. I don't know if that's the same in the physical, but I got this because there was just the movie announcement for this book, so I thought I might as well read it because again it's another one that's really popular, so I was kind of apprehensive for a very long time about reading it, but I am absolutely loving it. The narrator for this is so good. So I kind of lied because I remembered that one. It's technically 7 books rather than 6, but this is the last one, I promise, and that is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. I've read Asking for It and absolutely loved it, as much as you can given the subject matter, but I've been on the fence for a while about whether to delve into this one or not. It just never felt like the right time to get into something really dark. And I have heard a lot of people say you need to be in kind of the right mindset in order to read this. I don't really know much about it apart from that it's going to be turned into a play, I believe. And it's a kind of feminist sci-fi about women who are put into schools and they're basically trained to be like the perfect wife for the wealthy and powerful men in the world. And that's it for the moment. That is all of the books that I have bought recently. What are some of the books that you have bought recently? What are you loving at the moment? Leave a comment as always, let me know, and I will be back with a new video soon. Bye!